Do you believe that descendants of enslaved Africans should have the right to return and become citizens? Welcome to the Sankofa Pan African Series. Today's episode is a rallying call. We're diving into something powerful. Diaspora Reconnections, the right to citizenship for Africans in diaspora, and why African nations must welcome back the descendants of the enslaved, not as guests, but as our kin. Before we get into it, please hit the subscribe and notification buttons. Thank you. All over the world, people of African descent are taking DNA tests and discovering ancestral links to the Yoruba, Akan, Elba, and so many other groups in Africa. But this isn't just about percentages, it's about belonging. What happens after you find out where you're from? Do you just print the certificate and frame it? Or do you follow the map home? Now, this year, singer Ciara made headlines when she received citizenship in the Republic of Benin. She wasn't the first, and hopefully, she won't be the last. She joined a growing list of diaspora descendants, celebrities, and everyday people who are finding their way home. Let's take a moment to name some of them. I believe Isaiah Washington is one of the earliest celebrities to embrace his ancestry in recent times. After discovering his Mende ancestry through DNA, he received Sierra Leonean citizenship. Idris Elba, too, was granted honorary citizenship in Sierra Leone in 2019 and was issued a diplomatic passport to honor his heritage and efforts in promoting tourism in that country. That same year, Samuel L. Jackson was granted Gabonese citizenship after a DNA test linked him to the Benga people. He now holds a Gabonese passport. Stevie Wonder, too, naturalized as a Ghanaian citizen in 2024 in recognition of his decades of cultural connection and advocacy for Pan-African unity. That same year, Tiffany Haddish became an Eritrean citizen, reconnecting with her father's East African homeland. And of course, Ludacris also received a Gabonese citizenship in 2020 alongside his wife and children, embracing his family's African roots. So we could go on and on. But these acts of granting citizenship to Africans in the diaspora who want it should not just be symbolic gestures. They are acts of repair. Because, let's face it, some African communities played a role in both the trans-Saharan and the transatlantic slave trades. So when we open our doors now, when we offer citizenship, what we're offering is belonging and healing. It is not just and it should not just be an act of charity. It should be an act of mutual restoration. We are not only helping descendants of the enslaved heal from generations of displacement and trauma, we are also healing ourselves. We're healing from the guilt, the silence, and the complicity in the suffering inflicted on our kith and kin. We need that healing just as much as they do. Because until we acknowledge our role and make amends, we carry a moral wound that hinders our collective growth. And that unhealed wound, left festering, continues to make our continent vulnerable to corruption, division, and external exploitation. It is therefore our moral responsibility. It is historical justice. It's reconnection in action. Thankfully, thousands now visit places like the Door of No Return in the Republic of Benin, Cape Coast Castle in Ghana, and the slave ports of Badagry in Nigeria. These aren't just tourist attractions, and they shouldn't be. They are sacred places where tears fall for those who were stolen, and prayers rise for what can be rebuilt. This memorial, it is memorial tourism. But more than that, it is a form of healing. And we must all lend our voice to ask our African leaders to make this a continent-wide policy. Don't treat them like strangers. They are our family. They are the sons and daughters of the ones we lost. And it's time we bring them home if they choose to do so. Not as tourists, but as citizens. And if we're being honest, we have to admit or recognize that when diasporans return, they don't come empty-handed. They come with skills, with creativity, with vision and passion to invest in schools, farms, tech, healthcare, the arts. So they're not just reconnecting, they are rebuilding. And Africa doesn't lose in this exchange. Instead, Africa gains. And like the Sankofa bird shows us, let's go back and fetch it. That's what this movement is about. We're not just talking here about nostalgia. And it's not pity, and it's not PR. It's restoration. It's spiritual cleansing. So, let me ask you, do you believe that descendants of enslaved Africans should have the right to return and become citizens? And if you're an African in diaspora, what would your journey home look like? Well, let's have your answers to these questions in the comments, because we're trying to build this conversation with you. I mean, we're not just imposing this idea on you, and it would be awesome to hear your comments, your opinion, and for us to have a robust conversation around it. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Sankofa Pan African Series for more stories that reclaim, remind, and restore. You can also support us through Patreon or by buying me coffee. Until next time, go back and fetch it.